What's up everybody, it's Shane here from Waiting to be Seen, and I'm so glad that you're here for this week's VlogStock Friday. I wanted to have a talk about character reveals and what, let's say, 4, maybe 5 of my favorite types of character reveals are. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you're going to want to stick around for the rest of the vlog.
This is how we do it.
So why do I want to talk about film and character reveals today? It's because it's something that I'm interested in. It's one of those things that just sits at the back of my head. This week I just wanted to have a talk about that. I think one of the key indicators that differentiates between good directors and the great ones and even the bad ones is their capacity through the content they're making, through their film, let's say, that enables them to elicit a particular response from us as the viewing audience. And I think one of the tools that's used to elicit response from the audience is how a character is revealed. So what is the incremental reveal? Lots and lots and lots and lots of movies, films, cinema for decades have been using the incremental reveal of a character. They might show a hand here or a little facial feature there. Spielberg, who is a directing maestro and has been for a long time now, he uses this incremental reveal to great effect to draw us into the world of Indiana Jones, right? And it's not as though it was just a little bit dick and then it was done. He actually drew it out. The incremental reveal happened over the course of like just a little bit over 3 minutes. What's even cooler for me is the fact that we learn so much about the character without even yet seeing that grisly visage of Harrison Ford stepping in and character reveal. It was such a good illustration. I just thought that I had to share that as the example for my very first character reveal top 5. I'm sure there's a technical cinematic name for it, but what I'm calling it is the filling the frame reveal. Ta-da! It's a dynamic visual cue. The character starts off way in the distance usually and moves their way closer into the frame, filling the frame and maybe even going beyond the frame, and so it's just a really tight shot of their face. Edgar Wright, he did that with Hot Fuzz. You had all of the sirens blaring, so you knew that it was some kind of police drama. At least that's what you thought it was going to be if you didn't know what the movie was going into it. And then you cut to the very opening sequence, and way in the back is this tiny little figure. And then with purpose and with stride, he's marching in towards the screen, takes off his police hat, sticks it under his arm, and shows you his badge. That speaks a lot to us as the audience. I really love seeing that kind of visual cue in a movie. It's very clever, very clever. I love it. You get this character, and it could be because other characters have already talked about this character. The mise en scene has been set up in such a way that we have an expectation of this is the type of person that the character is going to be. But then it's flipped on its head. I think that a really excellent illustration of this is the eventual reveal of Willy Wonka. Gene Wilder was a brilliant actor, and I loved his interpretation of Willy Wonka. You know, we've heard about the man, we've heard about how he was backstabbed, and we heard how he became a recluse, and then all of a sudden things came alive, and there's this mystery, and what had happened, what had this man has gone, maybe he's gone mental, maybe we don't know what's actually happened to him. And so suddenly, after all of this excitement building, you get this reveal. There he is. He seems to be that kind of broken man that perhaps we built up in our head. You know, he's there, he's got a cane, he's labored, he's moving slowly. There's a lot of joy at the gate, and as that noise, that rapturous applause dies down, he continues laboring with the walking stick, and I think that's brilliant. It's setting it up in such such a clever way. And then, of course, famously, he's got the walking stick stuck in the pavement and goes to reach for it on the next step, and it's not there, and then he falls, tumbles, and here I am. And man, I remember seeing that the first time, and even now when I rewatched this particular clip, I've gone, yes, that reversed expectation gives a wonderful kind of cathartic response. You're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. That is cool. And you then connect in an emotional way with the character, in a different emotional way as well. And like I said at the top, I think that the great directors are able to do that, and are able to draw that from their actors. A really great character reveal is that sudden or that surprise reveal that you get from a character. You know, maybe you're not expecting them to be there, and all of a sudden, boom, they're there. Take, for example, The Dark Knight. That was something, and I've talked about it a couple of times, so I won't labor the point, but the very first time that we see the Joker, this happens, that happens, whatever, until at the very, very last, off comes the mask, and it is the Joker. And that was a great surprise reveal. Here's the example that I want to share with you, though. It's the movie Seven. If you've ever seen that movie, you know it's a thriller, and it is harrowing. If you're squeamish about that kind of thing, or if those kind of things might offend your sensibilities, I would not recommend seeing it. But I wanted to talk about this particular scene because it really was that surprise, or the sudden reveal.
Detective.
After this, I'm
Detective.
gone.
No big surprise.
Detective!
You're looking for me.
Going into the movie, right, you knew they had it on the board that Morgan Freeman, that Brad Pitt, the Gwyneth Paltrow, and the Kevin Spacey were all in the film. All right, cool. That sounds like it's a really good A-list billing. The surprise element then is that it was 95 minutes into the film before we finally get to see Kevin Spacey in all of his cinematic glory. And maybe I should say cinematic gory, because it was pretty gory. I mean, what he did, what his character was doing was very violent, and it's a different story altogether. But the reveal, man, that was a shock. Not just for the characters in the movie, but also for the audience, and it certainly elicited a particular response. And the final character reveal that I want to talk about today, it's a mouthful, the character's characteristics reveal. It's when we are introduced to the character in such a way that we just know, we know them. I think that comes down to the actor as well, the actor's capacity to convey who their character is in such a simple way. And we learn all we need to know about Don Corleone in that very first interaction, because he's gone, okay, family is important to me, respect is important to me, certainly more than just offering to pay me for murdering some kids that did some real damage to your daughter. You need to respect me. I won't get into all of it, you can check it out for yourself. Suffice to say, in just that opening sequence, we learn pretty much all we need to know about the man. And the same is true with my second example, and this one was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, millions and millions of people around the world really enjoyed it. And the example is our introduction to Captain Jack Sparrow. Could there have been a more perfect introduction to the characteristics of Jack Sparrow than him coming into port on a sinking ship? Firstly, we see this confident Jack Sparrow atop the mast, surveying the coastline as he's coming into shore. We quickly find out not all is as it seems as he glances down and scurries down to try and get a temporary fix to a very big problem that he's in at the moment. Quite literally, below that bravado is a sinking ship. He demonstrates a measure of solidarity, if you will, when he's sailing past and sees some pirates that have been hanged for their crimes, and so he gives them a little tribute as he's sailing past. And then, as his ship is coasting into port finally, Sparrow steps directly off the boat onto the dock, and he just walks straight into the township. He just walks straight through with purpose, with that confidence that we saw at the top when we first saw him. It really is all of the characteristics that are in Jack Sparrow as a character were all there. And that's it for today's VlogStock Friday. You know, these are the kinds of things that I think about sometimes. I don't spend, hours and hours thinking about it, but I notice them. And if I could just share anything with you today for the VlogStock Friday post, it's just to encourage you to maybe pay a little bit more attention to different things in that kind of content. If you're watching film and you're watching television and then you're making content yourself, think about ways that you might be able to incorporate that. Think about how you might be able to have a fun kind of character reveal in one of your vlogs next week. Think about the kind of music, like I had a couple of weeks ago, the kind of music that you're using. All of these bits and pieces, when added together, make for content, and if that content connects with people, then people are going to consume it and they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to hit the like button if they like what they've seen, and they're going to subscribe to the channel if they want more of that content. And so if that's you, then please like today's video, subscribe to our channel. If you have yet to subscribe to our channel, just click on the subscribe button down below and then click the notification bell if you want to find out as soon as the latest vlogs and other great content we make drops, because YouTube will let you know. Thanks so much for just having a bit of a fireside chat almost about cinema and character reveals. It's been fun. I love talking about this stuff. It's something I enjoy, and if you've enjoyed it, awesome. So glad that you've been here this week. I'm Shane from waitingtobeseen.com, and I hope to see you next week for the latest edition of VlogStock Friday.
That's gonna leave a mark.
What?